Let us start with a detailed explanation of the chapter. In the kingdom of fools, both the king and the ministers were idiots. Means, the kingdom, which was known as the kingdom of fools, the king and his ministers, both were unintelligent. They did not want to run things like other kings, so they decided to change night into day and day into night. The king and his minister did not want to run their kingdom like other kings did, so they decided to do something different. They started treating night as day and day as night. They ordered that the work which was done at night would be done during the daytime, and the work which was done during the daytime will be done during the night. They ordered that everyone should be awake at night, till their fields and run their business only after dark, and go to bed as soon as the sun came up. Anyone who disobeyed would be punished with death. Now the king and his ministers, they passed a unique kind of order, and which stated that everyone in the kingdom would work at night. Nobody will sleep at night. The farmers would do farming at night, and the ones who ran business would do business at night. As soon as the sun rose, everyone would go to sleep. If someone would disobey the order, he would be punished with death. The people did as they were told for fear of death. The king and the ministers were delighted at the success of their project. The people were scared that if they did not obey the king's order, they would be sentenced with death penalty. So they obeyed the order, although it was very strange. The king and his minister, both the fools, were very happy that all the people in the kingdom were following their orders. One day a guru and his disciple arrived in the city. It was a beautiful city. It was broad daylight, but there was no one about. Everyone was asleep. Not even a mouse was stirring. Even the cattle had been taught to sleep by the daylight. But there was no one about. One day, a saint arrived in the kingdom of fools along with one of his disciples. He saw that it was a beautiful city. It was a sunny day, but they could not find anyone around. They were very surprised. Everyone was asleep, and the writer says that not a mouse was stirring. They could not find a single mouse moving around, which meant that it was so quiet as everyone, even the tiniest creatures, the mice, were asleep. The people had taught their cattle to sleep during daytime, so every human being as well as animals were sleeping. Now see, they are the guru and his disciple. They came to the city and they found that it was very strange. Everything seemed strange to them. The two strangers were amazed by what they saw around them and wandered around town till evening, when suddenly the whole town woke up and went about its nightly business. These two strangers, they were not aware of that this kind of order had been passed in the city. So they were surprised to see that everyone was sleeping during daytime. They kept on wandering around in the whole city, and as soon as it was night, everyone woke up and started doing their work. Businessmen were doing business, the farmers were farming their fields. The two men were hungry. Now that the shops were open, they went to buy some groceries. To their astonishment, they found that everything cost the same. A single duddu. Whether they brought a measure of rice or a bunch of banana, it cost a duddu. The guru and his disciple, they were very hungry. When the shops opened at night, they went to buy their groceries. They were surprised to see that whatever they bought from the shop costed one duddu. The things were very cheap out there. Whether you buy a big bunch of banana or you buy a big bag of rice, it costed only one duddu. Everything was at the same price in the kingdoms of fool. Now see, everything cost only one duddu, and in one duddu you can purchase plenty of things. The guru and his disciple were delighted. They had never heard of anything like this. They could buy all food they wanted for a rupee. The guru and his disciple were very happy because the food in this kingdom was very cheap. You could buy a lot of food just for a rupee. When they had cooked and eaten, the guru realized that this was a kingdom of fools and it wouldn't be a good idea for them to stay there. When the guru and his disciple cooked and ate their food, the guru realized that the kingdom was a kingdom of fools and decided not to stay there any longer because it was unsafe for them. "This is no place for us. Let us go," he said to his disciple. The wise guru told his disciple that the place was not right for them and asked him to leave at once. But the disciple didn't want to leave the place. Everything was cheap there. All he wanted was good, cheap food. The disciple was a foodie. He loved to eat, and that is why he did not want to leave this place, because the food and everything else was cheap there. The Guru said, "They are all fools. This won't last very long, and you can't tell what they will do to you next." The Guru tried to make his disciple understand and told him that everything out there was a fool. Everyone out there was a fool, and all are dangerous. The kingdom would not last for a long time, and they could harm them too. But the disciple wouldn't listen to the Guru's wisdom. He wanted to stay. This disciple was not foresighted like his Guru, and he could not understand what his Guru was trying to say. He wanted to live there only and enjoy the cheap food. The Guru finally gave up and said, "Do what you want, I am going," and left. Finally, the Guru left alone, leaving the disciple behind. The disciple stayed on, ate his fill every day, bananas and ghee and rice and meat, and grew fat like a street-side sacred bull. The disciple stayed back in the kingdom of the fools. Every day he ate a lot of food, due to which he became fat as a huge bull. One bright day, a thief broke into a rich merchant's house. He had made a hole in the wall and sneaked in, and as he was carrying out his loot, the wall of the old house collapsed on his head and killed him. One day, a thief entered a merchant's house. He made a hole in the wall to gain access. When he was about to move out of the house after looting all the things, the wall broke and fell down on his head, and he died there only. His brother ran to the king and complained, "Your Highness, when my brother was pursuing his ancient trade, a wall fell on him and killed him. This merchant is to blame. He should have built a good strong wall. You must punish the wrongdoer and compensate the family for this injustice." The thief's younger brother went to the king and complained that his brother was following his ancient trade, although the ancient trade, robbing, was a crime. While he was working, the wall fell on his head and he died. The thief's brother was taking advantage of the king's foolishness. He said that the merchant whose wall has fallen down on his brother was the culprit. He should have made a strong wall. He requested the king to punish the merchant and get compensation for his family. The king said, "Justice will be done, don't worry," and at once summoned the owner of the house. The king was so foolish that he did not consider the fact that the dead man was committing theft at the time of his death. He only thought that the man died because the wall fell on him, and the owner of the house, whose wall fell on him, had to be punished. So he called the merchant. When the merchant arrived, the king questioned him, "What is your name?" "Such and such, your highness." "Were you at home when the dead man burgled your house?" "Yes, my lord. He broke in and the wall was weak. It fell on him." "The accused pleads guilty. Your wall killed this man's brother. You have murdered a man. We have to punish you." As soon as the merchant appeared, the king asked his name. Then the king asked him whether he was at home when the dead man, the thief, was burgling his house. The merchant replied that he was at home only. The thief made a hole in the wall and entered his house, and when he was trying to go out, the wall fell down on him because it was weak. Then the king told the merchant that he was guilty. He did wrong. Due to his weak wall, the thief died, and now he would be punished. "Lord," said the helpless merchant, "I did not put up the wall. It is really the fault of the man who built the wall. He didn't build it right. You should punish him." "Who is that?" "My lord, this was built in my father's time. I know the man. He is an old man now. He lives nearby." The merchant pleaded in front of the king, requested that, "My lord, it was not my fault. The wall was weak because the person who made the wall did not construct it properly. Hence, you should punish him." And further he added that the wall was made during his father's time. The person who built it was very old. He knew him as he lived nearby.